Y'all know what it is. It's Surviving Diddy time, y'all. Look, it's back. It's back. All right.
You feeling a certain way about this one?
Dom, take over the floor. Give us up to. You have not went through the full case file because it is extensive.
It's extensive.
But I will let you take the floor as our close to legal beagle. Your mom is a legal beagle, so you're the closest one we got to a legal eagle.
Okay, cool. I'll receive that. We first heard of Rodney Jones last year, and he was one of the producers. Allegedly, he produced like I think 7 or 9 tracks on the
nine tracks on
the Love album. And he was, very vocal about saying that he was never compensated for his time, his work. And he was not supporting this album, even though it was Grammy nominated, which I told you when I watched, I think they rescinded that nomination because I don't recall seeing it.
They showed him when for best R&B album.
I didn't see that.
They showed him in the crowd, but they showed the album.
Well, no. He wasn't there. He wasn't going to do that.
He was not there. No, he was not there.
I don't recall seeing that, but neither here or there. But ultimately he this was circling around the internet like around late October, November, and it kind of just fell off. It was like, boycott Diddy. This is around the same, a little. Actually, this was I think a little bit before Cassie, if I'm not mistaken.
Right before, because you got to remember the nomination came out.
It was November.
Yeah, I think it was early November. Like right after that.
Yeah, and the Cassie came out because they normally do nominations. I know the cutoff to submit is it has to be before October of like a certain date in October of that for that nomination to go through. Anyway, so we kind of never heard anything else about this. So now it has resurfaced as he has filed lawsuit against Puff Daddy regarding this, regarding sexual assault, harassment, also trafficking, and he has named a lot of celebrities in this case. Some of the names are redacted, but then there is like a number.
But why would someone be redacted, some of them are not?
I don't know. No. I'll ask my mother that, but here's the crazy thing. So on the numbers, it gives a description of the person. So for right now, I want to say that in this suit, he names it is Sean Combs, Justin Dior Combs, Ethiopia, Habit-Miriam or whatever. She is she was the CEO of Motown at one point, and now she like does some stuff for Puffy. Somebody named Lucian Grange, Kristen Coram, Shalice Records, Recording Studio, Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, Combs Global Enterprises, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and ABC Corporations 1 through 10. And it's also saying it's a demand for a jury. This too also has a trigger warning on the cover page, and says that this document contains highly graphic information of a sexual nature, including sexual assault. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a shooting, redacted images of sexual intercourse, redacted images of minors, sex workers, prostitute, details of sex trafficking, and the illegal distribution of guns and drugs. So throughout this, it's detailing Young Miami's cousin is listed as someone that sexually assaulted him. Cuba Gooding Jr. sexually harassing and assaulting Mr. James. The shooting that takes place, they insert an article from KCAL News where a man was shot outside of a party. But actually, what allegedly happened is that Sean and Justin shot this guy in the bathroom, but told him to tell the cops that he got shot in a drive-by. So there's actually images of the bathroom after this shooting takes place. Mr. Jones states that he aided the victim, the shooting victim, and he still has the clothing and believes that the clothing may still has blood stains of this guy G's blood on it that he could submit for DNA to confirm what happened. Um, he's saying that he drugged him several times at some of these parties. Uh, it was a lot of underage girls there, and they were engaging in illicit, explicit activities. He said that some of the girls were uncomfortable being around Mr. Combs. He also mentioned something. I'm trying to find the line about TD Jakes because somehow TD Jakes comes up in this.
No, not they didn't bring it. I thought we left the TD Jakes things alone.
Yeah, it says that a rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and a singer also redacted in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home consorting with underage girls and sex workers. At the bottom of the page, one of the pages, he has like screenshots. There's images here of all of these, different encounters, and I'm trying to get to the part where it shows the names because I don't know if we should say who these alleged people that interacted with these situations
We'll
are.
leave, we'll leave that for another.
Okay,
We'll
but
just do general stuff now.
yeah, it's a lot to take in, and he, was saying how Mr. Combs has made comments like he'll kill his own mama. So he was like, he had no doubt that he would do something to him. He was saying that he also named Stevie J as in one of the interactions that happened with him, and said that upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent. And as this case with a homosexual sex tape of Stevie J that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak off parties and parties at his house.
Yeah, but the guy says it's him. But Knockout says that there's these pictures coming out that
Yes.
Knockout, an adult film star named Knockout, is saying that that's him in these pictures. But he is at Diddy's party.
Yeah, he is at Diddy's party. And he was like, so what? And so they said that Thanksgiving 2022, Mr. Jones is sexually assaulted by Young Miami's cousin, and it doesn't say the name, or so it says that on Thanksgiving Day 2022, Mr. Jones was in Mr. Combs' house located in Miami, Florida. Young Miami and her female cousins were also present. Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones, which he rejected and proceeded to walk to the restroom. Once again, Mr. Jones pushed the girl off of him, and throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Jones was transported from California to New York to Florida and the Virgin Islands. During this time, he was forced to solicit sex workers and perform acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. He said in February 2023, Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalls walking around naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in bed with two sex workers and Mr. Combs. He recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. And he has photos of the girls that were in the bed. So, yeah. Shoot, this say Young Miami be doing coke with Puffy. He said he solicited sex workers from the booby trap on the river. This is crazy.
Damn, dating.
Yeah.
Even if some of this stuff, I'm gonna play a little clip here for everybody.
They mentioned Gene Deal as well. They enter in
hold on before we do that. Big G, what they say about Big G?
They enter in because he just kind of goes through like the history of Mr. Combs, and they enter in an article from Complex magazine that has Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, accuses the rapper of snitching on Sean over the 1999 shooting.
Hold on, let me see. Big Gene got something on his Instagram.
So it's like he's saying that these people, all of these like people that work for Puffy, he said that defended Christina Quorum is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs. And she was like helping getting this stuff and get paid. I mean, he's saying that he was also sleeping with Ethiopia. I mean, this is a lot. And like I said, I only got through parts of it, but it's very similar to the information and of the Cassie case.
This was more salacious. Oh, I mean, Cassie's is more, to me, was more harrowing, I would say, as a word of like, this was like sad, like, damn, you was putting this woman through that. This one is like salacious though. Like it's like two different types of like at least cases presented.
It is photos throughout, like he was it. And they have videos too, but of course they said the videos will be played, in court. But this person is requesting a jury trial.
I gotta play something here though. Hold on, okay. I'm gonna play something here. From my brother, in arms. I think this is just appropriate in this situation.
What's up? Nothing. I'm just tired of all this shit going on with my parents. Dad didn't make bail. He wants us to come visit. Does that mean he's guilty?
I told you, I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. Guilty as fuck. Guilty as fuck. I told you, guilty as fuck.
Does that mean he's guilty?
Guilty as fuck.
Man, it's so crazy. Like,
I feel vindicated somewhat, but now it's getting sad. Like before, I felt vindicated. Now it's just like, damn.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot.
The only thing that was interesting to me was before he has the video where he's talking about Diddy getting over on him for publishing and trying to get over him for stuff like that. Why does anybody work with Diddy now at this point? They 5 lawyers to watch over anything going on with him, period. This dude is a crook. What you think you thought it was gonna be sweet just because you was working with Diddy?
Everybody think they special, D, and you know that. And you are special to the people in your family and your friends. Yeah. When it comes to business,
you ain't
baby,
special.
It's nothing fair about that. We know that.
Because he was like, yeah, they were trying to get my publishing. They didn't pay me nothing. I'm like, dude, you signed that contract.
You didn't read it. And then, people was like, well, he had a GoFundMe at one point to get funds to sue Diddy.
And that's the only thing that's the only thing that gives Diddy a trap door to a certain extent. But if he's got pictures and stuff,
I mean, I will. Let me forward. I'm gonna forward you the.
But my only question for him as a man, not as a man, is a human. Period. Would all this stuff been all good to you if your contract would have been straight? Is my question. Like if all the business was on par, would you have been tripping off these girls and drugs?
Like a true Aquarius.
I'm just saying because it's just real
No,
convenient. Like,
that is true, but I think ultimately, you know, people. I could see Diddy being the type of nigga that's like, if I'm flying you here and doing this and doing that, and I could see him looking at it like this is compensation. You know,
oh,
like you on this
100%. If
private
I'm
jet,
picking you up in the hotel,
you on this is compensation, and you can say yes or no, and you going because you trying to keep hobnob to possibly work on this next project, and now you done met.
or it might be in his contract that he had to recoup that stuff that Diddy was paying for with a whole bunch of stuff. Was that
Yeah.
that contract may have been like, you get paid after expenses. That's always the key is after expenses.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go to all these places hanging out with him. And I get sometimes the record labels need to recoup because I'm spending all this bread on you. I gotta get some of this back before you can get
But
paid.
it's also like I'm a producer, so it ain't the same as an artist.
Right. So but that's my thing is my question is if he didn't have this issue with Diddy, would he been doing this? If Diddy would have paid him, he had his publishing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
that's the only thing that makes me like kind of like pick up my spidey senses is the only thing with that.
Also, I would say yes, that is a very valid question to ask. I think ultimately, if he was gonna get if he were compensated properly, I don't even see him in these spaces.
What?
I feel like
oh, you're saying if he would have been paid correctly, he wouldn't have been there. Period.
People know who they can do this to. We talked about this on the Cassie case.
Yes.
They know. And so you got this bright-eyed, unknown producer.
I'm working with Diddy.
And he's worked with like a lot of gospel people and different artists like in the Chicago area. That does say that in the article. Yeah, it says that in the I sent the file the case to you.
Yeah.
So it says like
Ron, right? It's like Lil,
so it says it said that when they kind of explain who this person is, who Rodney is, they say that he they said some of the people that he worked with, because I remember seeing something that seemed like about the Clark sisters. Throughout the duration of his of his career, Mr. Jones has worked with the South Side of Chicago on the South Side Chicago music scene, playing for the following legendary artists, the greats Georgia Mass Choir, Donald Lawrence, the Clark sisters. So, yep, Smokey Norfolk. So he knew, like I said, who he was able to do this to.
Yeah, but my thing is, I'm not sure if I'm sure he was. Is he a Christian producer in general?
That's what I feel.
Then why the hell was you?
But also, I don't want to say this, but we got to explore it. I'm not seeing this guy come. I'm not gonna say it.
No, go ahead.
You know what I want to say.
But you don't see him
I don't know if he's straight or not. Not that it would matter anyway. Yeah. But what happens sometimes is when you get people that are kind of like not sure of who they are or whatever, and he might not be out. Sometimes those people is easy to kind of manipulate and take advantage of.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Of like, like they kind of can test you a little bit with it because you're not comfortable maybe fully in your sexuality. Yeah. Either way.
Because I was like, even that photo of how Cuba Gooding Jr. is like looking at him and with his arm kind of around him, and the guy has his laptop out and looking, I don't know. It just read something else.
Man.
And I'm not a person that be wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's definitely wrong. And look, if this, I do not want to take away from this brother what he went through. This is always a question for me sometimes with some people where it's like when you don't speak up and make sure that people are okay at the beginning. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I just always be like, okay, if you would have been cool, would you have let all this stuff happen still?
Yeah, and I know a lot of the instances he's saying that he believes that he was drugged based on how his body was responding. Or it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to this other room. It was another time where he tried to leave and his Diddy took his keys. So it's a lot of that happening. And then like even the situation with this gun, you know, and the guy getting shot. You're the only person there to aid the person. He said the security really wasn't doing anything. So it's a lot of stuff happening. And I think I'm gonna say this. I don't think he's trying to extort him. I do, probably based on his track record, Puffy's track record of not paying people. I do believe that this is another one of those situations.
Do I need to play it again?
Yeah, no. So ultimately, but I'm trying to think if I don't think he probably would have shared this information had, you know, he was like, fine, fuck it, I'm gonna walk away, get this check. But it was like he was sitting on this. And to name all those other people, it's a lot of people that, like I said, based on the description and the redacted.
I went to his IG. His top 3 things he's got pinned are Diddy stuff.
But when of them posts from?
This time last year. Well, one of them is this time last year. The other one is September of last year.
So that check that he was thinking something was gonna come. Then the album dropped and he still ain't get paid.
Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be. I got you, Playboy. You don't even worry, Playboy. It's a whole movement, Playboy. I got you, Playboy. Don't worry. You already know it's love, baby. It's love.
It's a cold world. It's a cold world.
Yeah, it's a cold situation. Wow.